Hello all, it is your boy, Deluxe Man, and welcome to another SummerSlam review from my SummerSlam review series. So, the next few reviews will not have an intro because I have fallen behind on my schedule and I need to catch up. So, to catch up and finish this review series by the time SummerSlam 2018 shows up, I will need to do straight uploads. I don't have time to edit out mistakes or to edit in an intro. Please be patient. The intro will return, and I apologize ahead of time for my botches. And if I make any mistakes in terms of information, you'll let me know down below in the comments. You already tell me this stuff anyways. I know I messed up about Perry Saturn. Apparently, they didn't punish him from being from WCW. They punished him because he was an idiot and stiffed Mike Bell in a dark match. Although he made that Mobby gimmick work. Because he did get over. You're welcome. That's neither here or there. We're getting into 2003. So here we go. SummerSlam 2003. I'll put it to you this way. So, 2002, as we all know, is one of the best SummerSlams of all time, if not the best. My favorite, if anything else. SummerSlam 2002 created the idea that SummerSlam can be just as good as Wrestlemania, and therefore, it became the Wrestlemania of the summer. To maintain that momentum and keep that idea, WWE pulled out all the stops for this show, and what better way to maintain the idea of being the Wrestlemania of the summer than to have the Elimination Chamber. This is the second time we had this match. The first time was Survivor Series 2002. And in this match, we had Goldberg, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Chris Jericho, Randy Orton, and Kevin Nash. So on paper, you're thinking, oh yeah, this is going to be amazing. This show is going to be just as good as 2002. And it wasn't. So the question you have is, what went wrong? Why wasn't this show as good as 2002? Because on paper, it should have been. I agree. When you look at this card on paper, this should have been every bit as good as 2002, if not close to it. So what went wrong? We'll get into all of that when we get to the matches. A couple of details before we do that. The show itself was 2 hours and 43 minutes long. Premiered August 24th, 2003. Attendance 16,000 and... is it 113? So yeah, about 16,000. Arena, American West Arena in Phoenix, Arizona. Commentary was Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler. That's for Raw. For SmackDown, it was Taz and Michael Cole. And the ring announcers were Howard the Fink. And of course, Jimmy Tony Jimmel. Don't know why I called him Jimmy. Jimmy, little Jimmy. I'm telling you, these mistakes, I'm keeping them in. I don't got time for this. So Tony Chimmel, you know who I meant. The first match was a Raw Tag Team Championship match. La Resistance. Remember those guys? La Resistance. Rene Dupree, Rob Conway, and Grenier. Is it Sylvain Grenier, right? I think I said his name right. Not too sure. But La Resistance taking on the Dudley Boys, Bubba and Devon. Let me tell you something. When you talk about 2003, you talk about that tag team division, the best part of that Raw division was La Resistance. I love that tag team. I miss them too. French heels. French anti-American heels. What the hell? Like, okay. If we're getting to the point where everybody who's not from America hates America, at least make it funny. Okay, I thought La Resistance was hilarious. I really liked that tag team. But they took on the Dudley Boys, and look, the match itself was solid. The finish was kind of cheap. It was Rob Conway that interfered as a cameraman and cost the Dudley Boys the match. And you know what? It was fine because it advanced the feud. But in terms of a opening match, not the best in the world. We could have done better. Regardless, it was decent enough. We move on to Undertaker versus A-Train, or Albert for some of you. Average match. The best part of the match was honestly Sable. Yeah, Sable was in this match. And she was hot, as she always is, but she was hotter than what she was in 1998. Seriously, Sable was, Sable, you got hotter. She got hotter, that's for sure. And you would think, because with age comes, But regardless, Taker beats A-Train after the match, though. Taker is seduced, or Sable tries to seduce Taker, and he ends up grabbing her by the throat, and here comes Stephanie McMahon to get some revenge. And you know how she was back then. Oh, you don't? Sorry. Stephanie McMahon, she was a babyface in 2003. And during this time, she had an issue with Sable getting all the attention from her dad, because her dad is married to Linda McMahon, and she didn't like seeing her dad play with them hoes. You know what I'm saying? But regardless, Stephanie got her little payback against Sable, and Sable ran off with A-Train. And this would lead into a very weird feud between her and Vince. When we get to 2006, we're going to talk about a little angle that never happened on TV, but was going to happen that year. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. We'll get to it, I promise. Next up is, this match. Eric Bischoff versus Shane McMahon. So, where do I begin? In 2003, Kane took off his mask and became a monster. And because he did that, he ended up attacking everyone in his path. That just so happened to include Linda McMahon. And because he attacked Linda McMahon, Shane McMahon came back to get revenge. And it is one of the most underrated feuds in history. Everything about that feud was great. I don't care what anybody says. I love that feud. But before we got to the actual match, we had a buffer. That buffer was Shane McMahon versus Eric Bischoff. And this was during a time when Eric Bischoff was, trying to maintain stability of Raw with Austin as the co-GM. And they had some issues with Kane. They both had issues with Kane. Kane burned Jim Ross, and he attacked Eric Bischoff. So you would understand why Eric Bischoff was trying to keep people away from Kane. Because look, I need to keep this guy under control, and I don't need Shane McMahon coming out here threatening him. So he tried to basically tell Shane to back off, and Shane's all like, look, this mofo attacked my mother, so if you gonna get in my way, I'm gonna take you out. And that's how we got to this feud. Shane McMahon pissed off Eric Bischoff, and that led to a match at SummerSlam. It got so bad that Eric Bischoff invaded the homes of the McMahons and made out with Linda. And then he's backstage talking to Christian, who was the IC champion, and he didn't have a match on this show. Yeah, the Intercontinental Champion didn't have a match on the show. Why? I don't know. I thought Christian was a good IC champion. He had an awesome match with Rob Van Dam. Forgot what date that was, but it was in September where they did a ladder match between Christian and Rob Van Dam on Raw. Freaking awesome. Regardless, he's talking about how Linda McMahon is a steak compared to Sable's hamburger. Oh my goodness. Eric Bischoff was a douchebag. I miss Eric Bischoff. But as you can imagine, this led to Shane coming out and basically erupting on Eric. Now, when it gets to the match, I don't think I can call this a match. It wasn't really a match. It was an angle. A very fun, very good, well-structured angle, but it wasn't a match. But tell you what, because I enjoyed it so much and because I thought it was one of the best parts of the show, I'm going to give it a grade anyways. I thought this was good. You had Shane McMahon and Eric Bischoff fighting, and then out of nowhere, here comes Jonathan Coachman, who turned heel on this show. Yeah, Jonathan Coachman turned heel here on this show. He attacked Shane from behind. Eric Bischoff basically cut off commentary and had Jonathan Coachman do commentary live, while Bischoff beat up Shane McMahon, which led to Austin coming out to help. But there was the stipulation where Austin couldn't touch anybody unless he was provoked. This led Shane to shoving Jonathan Coachman into Austin, and Austin basically beat the hell out of Coachman. And they got to Eric Bischoff, where Shane basically slapped Austin with Eric Bischoff's hand, and Austin ended up stunning Bischoff, and then Shane had him kick out, and then they beat him up some more. It was so awesome. I love this. And then it ended with that amazing elbow drop that Shane does from the top rope to the outside, beyond amazing. Always love seeing that. This was good. I love this stuff. I know how people don't like these kind of matches. I thought it was good. I love this. This is when they do angles that actually mean something and are actually done very well. So I enjoyed it. You might feel differently, but I don't care. I loved it. United States Championship, Fatal 4-Way. Eddie Guerrero, the champion, taking on Chris Benoit, Rhino, and Tajiri. Good match. Nothing else to say about it. Eddie was the champion. He retained. Good job, Eddie. This was around the time when, yeah, he was still a heel, but he was becoming way too likable. Way too likable to really be a heel at that point. I think Paul Heyman was right in SmackDown, and I think at that point he was just like, you know what, screw it. Fine, you want to like him? Like him. We're going to keep you the way you are. We'll make money off of you as a babyface that is a heel. A babyface that gets over by doing heelish tactics. How the hell does Eddie do it? Nobody else can do it but Eddie. Okay, this next match is very underrated. The match of the night goes to the Undisputed Championship. Kurt Angle, the champion, taking on Brock Lesnar, where Kurt Angle makes Brock Lesnar tap out. If I'm not mistaken, for the first time ever in his WWE career. Now, I talked about this match in length from my classic series on SummerSlam. It is one of the matches on there. I do believe it is one of the best matches in SummerSlam history. Definitely go out of your way to see it. Amazing match. If you love their WrestleMania match, you'll love this match. Some might even say this is better than their WrestleMania match. I'm not even kidding you. It is that good. Next up is No Holds Barred. Rob Van Dam taking on Kane without the mask. Tell you what. I felt like the match was better than I thought it was gonna be. Because on paper, I'm thinking, oh god, that doesn't sound good at all. But it ended up being pretty solid. They did some nice stuff. There was that noteworthy botch where Kane tried to do the top rope clothesline and missed. Or he failed, but caught himself and did it again. They edited it out on the network, but it's on Botchamania. Check it out. Kane wins, of course. And then the main event. Alright, here we go. Elimination Chamber number 2. Triple H, Chris Jericho, Shawn Michaels, Randy Orton, Kevin Nash, and Goldberg. Literally everything about this match up until the finish was amazing. All of it. The best part, the MVP of the match, is Goldberg. He ran through everybody except Kevin Nash, who got eliminated very early. But Goldberg was a machine. Goldberg was a monster. And as you would expect, fans got behind him. He is literally the biggest marketing machine for WCW. So of course, him coming to WWE, fans wanted that same mystique. They wanted that same Goldberg. And I feel like if they had done it the right way, this could have easily launched Goldberg. Could have easily been one of the best matches in history. But then we have the ending. So basically, Goldberg gets into the ring. He eliminates everybody. He takes out Shawn Michaels, takes out Randy Orton, takes out Chris Jericho, and it's only him and Triple H. And then we do that spot where Triple H locks himself in his pod, and Goldberg kicks the pod window down. Because he's a freaking beast. And then Ric Flair rolls in the sledgehammer, and Triple H hits him one time with the sledgehammer, and pins on 1, 2, 3. And then afterwards, Evolution proceeds to embarrass and beat the hell out of Goldberg. And the entire arena hated it. It was horrible. When people talk about the Reign of Terror, when people talk about Triple H in 2003, this is one of the matches that come up. This was a horrible way to book this match. One of the worst finishes to a SummerSlam match I've seen. It was horrible. It was so easy. All you had to do was have Goldberg eliminate everybody, and he would have been set. You would have made him a legit name. Although he still is a legit name and he still is a Hall of Famer, and it didn't really kill his career. But imagine if Goldberg beat everybody, literally ran through everybody in the second Elimination Chamber at SummerSlam. Imagine what that would have done for his career. My goodness. Now, Goldberg does eventually win the World Championship at the next pay-per-view. But my thing is, why not give it to him here? You get me? Like, this would have been a better match to give it to him. And everybody's going to remember the fact that this pay-per-view could have been good, but it wasn't because of this horrible finish. This was doo-doo. This was garbage, and y'all should apologize to Goldberg. Because, I hated this. And it really bothers me. I hate going back and watching this match for that very reason. Because of that finish. Because what ends up happening is, I get excited when I see Goldberg tearing everybody down. He is a monster. He's running roughshod. He's spearing people through pods. He's slamming people. He's being Goldberg. And you get excited. Because you're thinking, oh my God, yeah, that's right. Tear it up. Go, Goldberg. And then the ending happens. It's bad. It's a horrible way to close what I thought could have been a really good SummerSlam, but it ended up being solid. But I don't know. I just feel like what went wrong for this SummerSlam was the decision to keep the belt on Triple H. And that to me was not a good idea. And I get it. I get why people say Triple H buries people. He had that reign of terror. It's hard to defend that when you have moments like this. But at the exact same time, did it kill Goldberg's career? No. He's still a Hall of Famer. And he still became a world champion. So that's my thoughts. I thought overall it was still a solid show, but could have been better. Really. But give me your thoughts about this SummerSlam down below in the comments. How did you feel about the show? What were your favorite parts? How did you feel about the Elimination Chamber match? Is it just me? Or do we have some people who agree? But thank you guys for watching. See you for 2004. Yeah. That one. This is your boy, The X-Man, signing off right here in The X-Man's World. Peace.